Welcome to Gallery Jungkook. This hypocritical fandom once again shows its true face toward Taehyung. It's not the first time, and surely not the last. This time, they deliberately erased his birthday from BTS's official calendar, as if Taehyung's special day never existed. The reason? An oversight, they said. But who are they fooling? It's strange, when it comes to Taehyung, there's always an excuse to ignore him. Even more ironic, they added Namjoon's 2026 schedule, while Taehyung's 2025 birthday simply vanished. Ironically, Jungkook's birthday has already passed. If it hadn't, they'd probably find a way to erase his too from the calendar supposedly made for ARMY. What a shallow word that has become, used only to mask hypocrisy. They talk about love, unity, and respect, yet what we see is favoritism and selective hate. The saddest part? This isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern, a reflection of the fandom's true nature. No matter what Taehyung does, even when he does nothing, there are always people ready to mock and judge him. Today they adore him, tomorrow they tear him apart. Just look at the latest example. Jungkookers suddenly got angry simply because Taehyung posted a Coca-Cola ad on his story. The reason? They said he didn't greet Jimin. That's how it always goes, a new excuse to hate him, no matter how absurd. What's even more concerning is that among these attacks, someone even threatened to commit suicide if Taehyung didn't greet Jimin. The question is, are they still sane? Where is the line between loving your idol and completely losing your mind? It's heartbreaking to see how far people can lose themselves over fantasies, interpretations, or simple misunderstandings. And as always, Taehyung, with his generous and kind heart, chose to respond with love. Today, he sincerely wished Jimin a happy birthday, with respect and warmth. No resentment, no pretense. But, as expected, his kindness was met with hate. Instead of gratitude, many attacked him again, spilling venom behind the mask they call love. Yesterday they hated him for not greeting Jimin, today they hate him for doing it, and tomorrow? Who knows? Whatever Taehyung does, they'll always find another reason to criticize him. If he smiles, they call it fake. If he's quiet, they call him arrogant. When he posts something, he's attention-seeking, when he doesn't, he's cold. For them, Taehyung can never win, because there's no middle ground, no satisfaction. The saddest thing is how this double standard has become normalized in the fandom, as if it's just part of the game. Yet Taehyung remains steadfast. He doesn't return hate with hate. His light shines so brightly that even in chaos, it never fades. There's something unbreakable in him, no matter how hard the world tries. His grace, calmness, and kindness speak louder than 1,000 toxic comments. Because when someone acts out of genuine love, others' hatred becomes nothing more than a fading echo. With his natural grace and goodness, Taehyung has shown time and again that he doesn't need to defend himself. Not for image, not for comfort, but because his sincerity is real. While others spread negativity, Taehyung keeps growing, keeps shining. And maybe that's what disturbs those who thrive on drama, they can't stand seeing someone happy without their permission. Yesterday they criticized him for not greeting Jimin, today for a photo, and tomorrow? Who knows? There will always be a new excuse to mask the same old jealousy. But in the end, none of it matters. Because even as they drown in their own poison, Taehyung remains Taehyung, an artist with a noble heart, a sincere soul, and a light that doesn't depend on anyone to shine. Taehyung and Jungkook have given us countless unforgettable moments, even months after completing their military service. Every move, every glance, every word seems to carry traces of the days they were apart. In my previous video, I revisited some of those moments, but I missed one of the most precious, when Jungkook, with a soft yet sad tone, said that Taehyung wouldn't be returning to the military. A simple sentence, yet so full of meaning, carrying all the unspoken longing between them. It was a brief moment, but deeply emotional, and honestly, it's hard to watch without feeling a tightness in your chest. In Jungkook's eyes, you can see everything he's endured, everything he's felt, and all that he silently carried through those months of separation. Small gestures, quiet sighs, yet behind them lies an ocean of emotion only those who have loved deeply can understand. Jungkook knew Taehyung wouldn't return to the military, but his words slipped out as if his heart refused to accept it, revealing how much that distance weighed on him and how precious Taehyung's presence truly was. It was one of the most touching moments, because it showed love in its most human form, vulnerability in separation, fear of losing what's most precious, and an unending hope to be together again. Taehyung and Jungkook had to face one of the hardest trials for two hearts bound by deep love, distance. But that separation didn't divide them, it strengthened, deepened, and matured their bond. Because when love is pure, distance isn't a barrier, it's a mirror that makes feelings clearer. I can imagine how heavy those days were, the changed routines, the slow passage of time, and the nights filled with longing. It's easy to understand why Jungkook's words carried both laughter and sorrow. It was his way of releasing the ache he'd carried for so long, the weight he silently bore while Taehyung was away. Even through a screen, their love feels alive, transcending silence, defying time, and enduring across distance. It's no surprise that after completing their military service, Taehyung and Jungkook seemed inseparable, as if promising not to waste a single second together. Every gesture, every glance, every shared laugh feels like a small celebration of reunion, a beautiful way to cherish time and presence. The fact that they now appear quiet doesn't mean they're no longer together. They simply choose to live peacefully, loving without needing to declare it, creating new memories far from the spotlight, in a space only they know. Sometimes, true love doesn't need to be shown off, it's enough to be felt, lived, and breathed in the simplicity of everyday life. Taekook always reappears at the right moment, often when we least expect it. And every time they do, the world seems to pause for a second. Our waiting is always rewarded, because every time they appear, they bring warmth, softness, and a connection that reminds us why their story is so special. These two souls, so different yet perfectly complementary, continue to prove that true love doesn't rely on appearances or public validation, but on something much deeper and calmer. Their bond remains untouched, unseen at times, but strong, so strong it shakes the world whenever they choose to reveal it. And as long as that bond exists, we, who love them sincerely, will stay here, moved by the way they look at each other, understand each other, and love without limits. Because every time Taekook returns, the world feels different. Love feels purer, stronger, more real. Amid the noise and chaos of the world, they remain proof that true love never fades, it simply learns to speak in softer tones, in whispers only the heart can hear. One of the most beautiful things about Taehyung and Jungkook's connection is how their gestures often repeat over time, like echoes of a bond that doesn't need words. It's not coincidence, nor random, it's the result of a closeness so deep it becomes instinctive, an unspoken trust shared only by two souls who truly understand each other. Every touch, every lingering gaze, every small contact between them carries meaning, far beyond what's visible. In the way they seek each other out, there's a calm naturalness, a rhythm where their bodies and hearts seem to recognize one another without hesitation. Nothing feels forced, and that's where the beauty lies. Everything between them flows effortlessly, as if one was made to complete the other. When someone repeats a gesture toward another, it's not mere habit, it's the heart speaking when words feel too risky. In Taehyung, those gestures radiate sincerity. His gaze lingers, his smile suggests belonging, and every touch comes without hesitation, without fear, as if Jungkook's presence is the safest place to be. These aren't gestures made for attention, they're born from truth. In the quiet warmth of their togetherness, the space between them seems to disappear. Every small interaction whispers, "I know you," even when the world doesn't see. And that's when you realize, these gestures, more than any words, are the truest form of confession. What's most remarkable is how this love, because truly, no other word fits better, transcends time, silence, and distance. There are no promises spoken, no public declarations, yet every reunion between them silently proves that nothing between them has ever broken. When they look at each other, not in surprise, but in recognition, it's the gaze of two souls who have waited too long to find home again. And in every gesture they share, in every laugh that comes without reason, there's a quiet certainty we can all feel, that they're still a part of each other. The bond between Taehyung and Jungkook isn't just a memory, it's real, alive, and too genuine to be hidden. And so, in the end, behind all the noise and drama, only one thing remains: sincerity. Taehyung and Jungkook don't need to prove anything. Their love speaks through the smallest things, a look, a smile, a presence that never truly leaves. That's what makes their story special, simple, honest, and real. Thank you for watching and feeling it with us. This is Gallery Jungkook, where every moment, every emotion, and every whisper of their love lives on forever.